Derek, one of the things I pride myself in being an instructor is really providing a high degree of clarity in my critiques. And I apologize because I think I've created more confusion than clarity here. And I will address that right now. And again, I really, really apologize. It must be frustrating to appear to have one set of comments one week and then a set of comments contrary to the original in the second week. I get it, and I apologize. Do not mean to cause you any frustration at all. Please understand that completely. What I'm trying to reinforce here is the gaze of the main subject. Okay, anytime there's a human being in a composition, the viewer is going to go to that area first. We can use that knowledge to our advantage, specifically by looking at where the individual is looking, okay, and following those lines. Now, I made a mistake in my first critique, and I should have been more thorough here. But as I zoom in, you're not going to see this, by the way. It's a system zoom. But when I zoom in here, I can see that his gaze, what I thought is, I thought he was looking this way. Okay, so that conversely would mean in a magazine ad that he was looking this way. Okay, I zoom in here and I see that is not the case, and that's the part I really apologize. I should have been more thorough. I should have looked at this closer. I didn't. I apologize. He's actually looking at his surf. If we zoom in here, we can see he's not looking off to ahead. He's actually looking at his hands. Okay, so so we don't really necessarily have to be concerned with leading lines in that regard. But what I do want you to understand is, supposing in this composition right here, supposing his gaze is actually looking this way. Can you see where that would be problematic? That would be problematic because he's looking away. If we know the viewer is going to look at this area first, and the viewer is going to follow the sight line of the subject, if that's a human or a dog, anything with eyes, really, the viewer is going to follow the eyes, right? So right now, if this surfer were looking this way, then the viewer would take a look at this and they would follow his sight line right off the composition. That's the point I was trying to hammer home, and I guess I created more confusion than I intended, so I apologize for that. As I take a closer look at the image, I can see that gaze is a non-issue. So let's forget about that, and let's just say that the other recommendations I had still hold, but let's not worry too much about flipping and placement and that, okay? I think that this is phenomenal work. I still do. I think it's fantastic regardless. And again, once again, I just really want to apologize for my lack of clarity in that regard. Okay, so other than that, just let's follow the original recommendations and let's see what we have. And again, I just want to reinforce that I would love to see I'd love to see this one more time before you submit for your final. I would love to see it. Let's get one more set of eyes on it, one more set of critique. Let's just fine-tooth comb it for the last time before you submit next week. Okay, I just want to make sure that everything's in place so that what I'm after, Derek, is, you guessed it, yes, I would love this piece to be ready for inclusion in your student portfolio when that time comes. That's what I'm shooting for, by the way, and that's kind of how I direct a lot of my classes, is to make sure that the student has a good tangible piece for which to include in their student portfolio when that time comes. So, all right. Yeah, sorry, man. I'm sorry, Derek. But anyways, the good news is this. You're doing great. You're really doing great work. You got this, man. You got this. So, yeah, let me know. And if you want to recompose, resubmit, just let me know. And I'd love to get a look at it before your final submission next week. All right? Fantastic. Thank you, Derek.